About 8 o'clock in the morning here, we've gathered a group of citizens concerned with their future and the rights that they have as citizens of Garland County and Hot Springs. We've got between 15 and 20 people today. We're going to all caravan over to Little Rock and see if we can't talk to some of the state legislators and possibly stop the forced annexation of Garland County into Hot Springs. Here on the steps of the state capitol in Little Rock, Arkansas, where a group of 15 to 20 concerned citizens and residents of Garland County and Hot Springs, Arkansas have gathered today to hopefully stop the forced annexation of Garland County into Hot Springs. We're going to meet with Representative Bruce Cozart and hopefully put this through the House committee today.
Moving forward, which is west side of Hot Springs in Garland County.
I'm very pleased to be here today representing all the people in Garland County who are asking you to support HB 1018 coming out of committee so it can be voted on. HB 1018 is the only remedy property owners in Garland County will have that even partially protects them from being forced into the city's jurisdiction against their will. When cities expand, so too do their fiscal obligations, as well as the strains placed upon existing services and increased cost of maintenance in the years to come, feeding, of course, the city's pension to create ever more debt. Over the years, we've seen the city of Hot Springs waste over $9 million on various studies that produced nothing. Since the 1970s, the city population has remained at about 35,000 residents, but its annual budget has escalated somewhere from around $20 million to $110 million a year. The city has repeatedly chased away viable businesses that wanted to locate there that would have benefited the residents as well as increased the city's coffers. Most county residents claim and agree that for the past 25 years, the city of Hot Springs has been a very poor steward of their tax money, regardless of which city manager and board was in charge. County residents feel that if they were annexed into the city's jurisdiction, they have no means to protect themselves from escalating taxes and fees the city will pile on them. People in the county can park their trucks, their trailers, their boats on their grass. You can't do that in the city. Does that mean that the county annexed land that owners that fall into that category have to build garages? What if they can't afford to do that or simply don't want to do that? Annexation can have many unexpected financial, social, and limited usage consequences that affect the county landowner's property value and their property rights. Forced annexation could not be farther from the Founding Fathers' vision of protecting sovereign individuals' rights from the power of government. Arkansas's motto on the state seal is "Regnat Populus." That means in Arkansas, the people rule. James Madison made it very clear that government, deriving its power from the people and only from the people, cannot usurp the rights of the people. Government has no rights. They only have authorities given them by the people. There is no government right to annex a person's property against his will. Forced, involuntary annexation is an unjust exercise of government's power because the ultimate authority for that power rests with the people. Government is its servant, not its master. HB 10, while it does not give landowners the right to vote, HB 1018, while it does give landowners the right to vote for or against the pending forced annexation, it doesn't address the major issue, which is that forced annexation should not be allowed in Arkansas, or else the motto of the state has to change. But at this juncture, HB 1018 is needed to give landowners the opportunity to vote. It is the only remedy that city and county landowners will have. So I would like to ask you again to please vote for HB 1018 to come out of committee, and then to please vote yes to support the bill's passing into law. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I guess I'm having a little hard time understanding this. Why are we changing state law for one county out of 75? No one else is having this issue currently that I'm aware of except Garland County. So why do we need to go in and fix a problem that y'all can't fix at home?
Same reason it got changed for one county area last time. This was mostly for the Fort Smith area around, I'm not sure the town, is it Greenwood? Somewhere up in that area, around Fort Chaffee. That's one of the longest changed last time was for that area. It did affect Hot Springs when it did, and of course, like I said, it has affected us as we think adversely. And so we'd like to see it. We're not trying to change it back. We're still wanting to allow that. It's just in a smaller area. You know, I really never thought that an enclave was to be 2,400 acres as one that they did try, and they had the residents of that group really speak out against them, so they pulled back on that one. Now, that doesn't mean they won't go back after it, because they can. But the areas that he was speaking about, 620, 481, 358 acres, those are pretty good sized little areas that you're taking. You're affecting a lot of people in those areas. So all we're asking for is just a vote. If the people want to vote it, and the majority of those people want to be in the city, then let them be in the city. If they do not want to be in the city, let them be in the county. They still pay taxes to the county, they still pay, they buy groceries, they buy gas, they pay their city water bills and sewer bills that they are supplied. A lot of the areas, such as where I live, was a water district that we actually paid for out of tax money that I paid for. Personally, we turned that over to the city, and now they supply that water. But they are being very restrictive on who they will let have water now in those areas, because they control the water, and which we believe is wrong, because we pay taxes on those properties. So it's been a little battle in Garland County, and Garland County is a unique place. It's a tourist town. It's a place that people come to retire. We have a very broad group of people from different states that live there, so a lot of different views. So,
Could recognize.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to ask if Representative Williams would like to ask for one. He has to do that to make this go any further. So if you want a fiscal impact, you will have to ask for it. It takes within 3 days, and it will have to lay 3 days. So I'm not going to ask for it, but if you want to ask for it, you can, and then we'll stop and come back.
You recognize Representative Williams.
Well, but first I want to say I in no way do not desire to hear the impact fee testimony of individuals may have traveled here to do this. I will obviously take that into consideration even if this is delayed. But I also feel it necessary for us to be able to understand, if we're going to require our cities and our counties to be able to hold these elections, that they at least be able to have the information, and this committee have the ability to be able to consider the cost of the implementation of this law. So yes, I am going to request that.
So I'm here with Representative Bruce Cozart. We've had a meeting earlier today. Actually, how would you say the results of this was?
Well, you know, we really just got into it and got into the early questioning of the bill from the committee members, and we got, and I won't say the trick, but the good standby pulled up that they wanted a financial impact of what this was going to cost if they had an election of an annexation. You know, we're not asking for an annexation. We're asking to stop the annexations and to define what they could annex. So, but if there is an annexation and an election, they could be a financial impact to the county or the city asking for that, none to the state. And that's what they asked for today. So without having that, we have to stop and ask the gentleman that wanted it required, asked for it, and so we'll be 3 days of waiting for that.
And to a degree, this is somewhat what we expected.
Well, we expected opposition from some of the members of this group, and we didn't know how many. I knew there were some, so I knew this gentleman. I met with him this morning early, and he told me that his mayor had sent him plenty of questions to ask. So his mayor is being very sly and requiring us to stop the process that we're going through right now.
Well, Representative, what's the game plan from now?
Well, the game plan is we'll get financial impact, and then we'll set up a time to run this bill again, and we'll run it and see where we go.
Sounds good. Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Appreciate it. So, George, how do you feel about the outcome of today?
Well, we're going to be back over here next week. We're going to give it another try. They're going to do some investigations to find out what the cost impact is. The cost impact on the city, I think last I heard, election was about 18,000. Certainly going to be under 30,000. It won't affect the state, it won't affect the county. It'll be a city deal if our initiative petitions work. We're going to come back here. We know a little bit about the questions they're going to ask. We'll be prepared to answer those questions, give them some more information. They raised more questions today than what we answered, actually, but they raised them after we spoke. So we'll be prepared to answer those next week.
Now, we know you had 15 to 20 today. Quite a crowd to come all the way from Hot Springs. You're expecting more next week. How many are you expecting?
We hope to have 30 or more. This is a difficult thing to gather people up in the middle of the week when you can come over here and be dismissed. However, this may in fact be to our favor.
Right. Folks that want to come, who do they need to contact and how do they get in touch
They
with that
contact
person?
Reggie Cowan. You can contact myself, George Pritchett, 501-276-9100, or they can go to the Garland County Tea Party website. They can go to the Garland County Good Government 4G's website. They can contact any of us and it'll all come together.
Okay.
Mackenzie, I'm going to make this short and sweet. After going into the committee meeting and everything and watching this, it's apparent to me that number one, these senators or representatives that were sitting in there, representatives I guess, do not know even what this bill consists of, number one. They seem to be feeling kind of dumb to it. They're asking questions that aren't pertinent. And the thing that I saw too, and heard directly from some of these people, is that the mayors of the different cities are telling them what to do. These people need to get educated. Well, you know what? We're going to educate them, and hopefully they'll see it our way.
Thank you.